Hi, my name is Tina Perez. I'm originally from New York. I relocated here to Orlando about 6 or 7 years ago. I had a job opportunity with my ex-husband at the time, and then from there we were married for a few years, and we then decided to have a child together. And Manny was born August 17th, 2004 on our anniversary. The greatest gift I ever received. And then when Manny was with his diagnosis, because of where I lived in Punta Gorda, they really didn't have services for children on the spectrum. So I decided to relocate to Orlando, and I found a public school that had a dedicated classroom for children on the spectrum. So that was my priority of why I relocated here. And then during that process, I came across BSS, which is Behavioral Support Services, and they offer services for children on the spectrum. And at that time, I was excited because my son was going to be able to receive help because he also has some OCD. So during my 3 years with them in the beginning, I had set expectations of what I was looking for within a center, and they seemed to meet what I was looking for at the time, but I didn't know any better because it was all new to me. But unfortunately, I went through 5 assistants over the course of 3 years, and the assistants just weren't qualified. And it was very upsetting for me because my son would have to meet with this person, get situated, and then they would leave a week or 2 later. So as a parent, I felt like I needed to do something. So at the time, Tracy was a supervisor on my son's case at BSS. And I was made aware that she had went over to PBS. So I felt confident because when I worked with her during that time in my home, she was very involved. She was very, I just felt confident that she was going to execute whatever needed to be done. But unfortunately, when she left, it basically fell to pieces. So when I found out when she was at another center, I decided to transfer over. And now that I can compare, I can't even explain how thankful I am that the team that my son has now has such an impact on our lives. And for the short amount of time that we've been with them, he has excelled and improved so much. And not only just with Manny, but I've learned so much from Kristen Lancaster, who's Manny's supervisor, who's phenomenal. And I can't speak, words can't express. Words can't express how much she has impacted our lives. And it's not just because of what she does. It's not a job for her, where I've met people that it's their job. It's 9 to 5, whatever. She came into my home and she did an assessment and she put together a plan, and the previous place didn't give me any support or materials, and she came in with visuals. She's very artsy crafty, and she explains everything, and I'm at a loss for words because she really doesn't have a clue as to how much she has impacted my life with Manny. And then the assistants that are underneath her that actually work directly with my son have been phenomenal, and I can't speak highly enough of the progress that my son has made, and I know that my son is in the right place because I feel confident that my son will excel because of the team that I have now.
We're still working on a lot of the same things. I've only been working with Manny for about 9 or 10 months. So we're trying to teach him some independent skills. When we started the assessment, he still needed assistance with all self-care tasks like bathing and certain parts of using the restroom and taking care of his own clothing and that sort of thing. So those are the goals. Those are the things that we're trying to teach him: more independence and confidence in his everyday life, that he can take care of himself and that he can do things for himself just like other kids can do. We're working on social skills, teaching him what the appropriate interactions are. He's very friendly, which is a huge strength in his personality, because he loves people so easily and it makes it easy to work with him. He has transitioned, big life transition, from just living with his mom for the past 5 years in an apartment, very, very simple, very predictable routine, life that he is very much adjusted to moving into a new home, gaining a sister, gaining a stepfather, and his mom is very worried, about that process, as she should have been, because children with autism struggle with change, and we all predicted it was going to come with its set of challenges. But so that was very important, and we worked together as a team, mom and stepdad and stepsister and Manny and Simone and myself, and putting together a plan that was going to help him adjust. And we have helped the entire family by including his new sister in therapy, so she doesn't feel left out. She doesn't feel like she's losing attention for gaining a brother that needs these extra supports. So we try to make her feel as included as possible. They both have their own chore schedules. They're both working on independent tasks. They're both have the same expectations. Nobody, we expect, the whole family, including the support staff, expects that both of the kids are going to be doing the same things. And the goal there is so that he knows that he's just like everybody else, that he's not different, and he's going to succeed, and he's going to make amazing gains, and I'm excited to be part of that.
When I first met Manny, he was just living with mom, so I got to experience his transition into a bigger home, a bigger family with stepsister and stepdad. I helped him get accustomed with the new routine. He struggled at first, transitioning from his regular routine with just mom to having to share his attention with his sister, and then now he's getting along well with the sister, and they spend an equal amount of time with both parents. So when I first started with Tina, she was very, very willing to learn. Everything that we did, she was there to watch us so that she can reciprocate everything we were doing without us there. And then once the family got bigger and stepdad and stepsister came into the picture, I was able to reach out to stepdad and be able to tell him the different implementations that we were doing with Manny so that he can help Tina in setting up his visual schedules and everything that Kristen made for him, and all the interventions that we have for Manny were now able to be implemented by also the stepfather. Now that I've been working with Manny for over 3 months, he's able to hold conversations with his peers a lot better, able to go into a conversation saying, "Hi, my name is Manny," instead of intrusiveness. Also, I think that we'll be able to take him to a whole nother level where we don't even have to be there with him when he's talking to other people, that he'll be able to hold conversations with his peers and older adults, and they'll be able to sit and listen to him, and he'll have a conversation.
Well, I got to have a new experience with an autistic brother, and I get to do a lot of activities with him, and I do a lot of activities with my new stepmother and with my father. I want to thank PBS for helping my stepbrother with all the stuff he's learned.
Well, it is different for sure. I've learned a lot in a very short time. I met Tina a little over a year ago. It didn't take very long at all before I fell in love with her. And part of her life is Manny. I've tried to adapt and adjust, and am still learning on a daily basis. I think he's a great kid. I'm his stepdad. I'm by no means his dad. Thank God Manny has a real father, Big Manny, who is an awesome guy. He loves this kid. That's awesome. There's enough love in our family for everybody to have love, so that's a good thing. You know, it's been nice having PBS in the household. I've learned a lot from Tina. I know she gets a lot of support, and I've learned through the program they do work with me as well to help me to understand Manny's way of thinking and coping with, you know, how he deals with things. I'm still learning every day. I wouldn't say it's an easy process, but I'd also say it's a worthwhile process. I mean, he's a good kid, and he's like any other kid. He just sees the world a little differently, and if you take the time to try and see it his way, you kind of see where he's coming from.
Well, my favorite thing to do is play with my mom. I like to play friends.
You like to play friends?
No, not friends, friends. Well, my favorite thing to do with my sister Mia is play hide and seek.
Play hide and seek? Yeah. Do you like to count or do you like to hide?
I like to hide and count.
Okay. Are you learning?
I know how to say it.
Okay.
Well, I'm learning since I was 3. Okay.
What are you learning to write?
Well, I learned to write
Look at me.
on a piece of paper.
Yeah, what word do you write? Are you practicing? Which
Well,
name?
I'm practicing my name.
Uh-huh. Do you like writing your name now?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I practiced my name since I was 2, but I was 10.
I would like to, at this time, express my gratitude to PBS. I thank Michael, who I've never met personally, but I have to thank him because he's the person that started the center. I thank Tracy for her hard work. Kristen,
Now we're going to talk about listening skills. Okay?
she's just a blessing. My entire team, because for the first time since my son has been diagnosed, I know that he has a future because I know I have their support. And I know they know what my expectations are, and I don't set unrealistic expectations. And they've always been very honest with me about what to expect. And I feel confident that my son, which my goal for him is to be able to live an independent life. And I know with their support and the tools that they've been teaching me and teaching my son that he'll be able to live an independent life one day. And wholeheartedly, I thank PBS and their staff because I wouldn't be able to do it without them.